You as well.
McNaughty should be going live probably in about 10 minutes.
So it's live streamed on McNaughty's YouTube. So it's not like live streamed on our YouTube at all, right? Just posted later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I'm gonna
Splatoon's got a
join
chat.
Nukes.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna go to that.
All right, man. I'll see ya.
See you, fellas.
Good luck.
See you, mate.
Come on. Oh, wait. God damn it. Alright, now we're down to 11 drivers. Shit.
many are we expecting according to the RSVP?
It was 12, but Wilcox just said he can't make it.
Don't we have like how many pro drivers do we have like registered?
16, I think. Hold on. No, we have more than that. Hold on.
Yeah, like including all the reserves.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of creating, the moment when it all clicks. B&H is here to make sure you have the right parts and partner for the task at hand. B&H, where creativity clicks.
I'm kind of surprised we haven't had full lobbies each
We-
race with the amount of people we have signed up. But part of me just kind of wonders if it's just being a summer series. You know, people always have stuff going on, but I don't know. This Sunday night is a pretty good time.
Yeah, it's 19.
So we got 12, but maybe only 11. So 8 can't make it. That's almost half.
Yeah.
Are there any people, like, I haven't been paying attention to who's been RSVPing and not RSVPing, but people that you think, like, just are never going to show up?
Yeah. I got a couple of those guys in my head.
Like, a few people that have never, that they've, like, they haven't RSVP'd yes yet, basically.
They haven't RSVP'd anything. They haven't said yes, no, or maybe.
Oh, yeah, I think they're out, most likely. They haven't even said no.
Looks like.
I think we're just missing True Serum. I don't know where he is.
Damn. My teammate. Yeah, you usually go into a party with him. I was just kind of wondering where he's at.
I know he practiced, but he's really cutting it close 2 minutes before start.
I wonder if I should send him a message or something. Usually I party up with him too. I want to create a party with him, but send him a message on Discord.
I just shot him a message on Discord.
Oh, he just got on.
Okay. Cool.
I sent him a message on Discord. I got a notification that he came online. I sent him a message on Discord, hit the send button. Literally 1 second later, I get the notification that he comes online. Alright, I'm gonna try to start a party with this guy. See you guys later. Good luck
See ya.
on the race tonight.
Good luck, mate.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the third round of the Toyota GR Cup here, hosted by S7R. This is Tati, Dirty Tati, alongside Hovercraft here for a second time. Thank you for joining me today. Hover, how are you?
The Toyota Cup.
Yeah, we should have a lot of fun today. We got a fun track, Interlagos, a couple of fun combos at Interlagos as well. I expect lots of strategy stuff to come into play given the tire wear at Inter, but also just straight up, it's a good track for racing, so I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely. A lot of Interlagos is a bunch of consecutive hairpins, making for very good close quarters racing. And I think we're going to really see every driver put in the effort to control their cars today. It's going to be a pretty demanding track. It's going to be very harsh on the tires, and I think we're going to see that play out, especially in the feature race.
Yep, most certainly. Well, speaking of the cars, drivers will be in two different types of cars today. The sprint race will be in the GR4 Toyota BRZ. Are we calling? Is it the BRZ? It's not the BRZ in Toyota. It's the Subaru. It's the GR86. It's the GR86. Is the Toyota. My fault, guys. I'm trying. And then in the feature race will be in GR3s. GR3 class, of course, is driver choice. So not a one make there like it was last week in the GR2s and the Lexus. So this week we'll see all sorts of cars.
To be
on that
honest,
track
because this
for the
is a
feature
shorter
race
track,
at
I think
Interlagos.
having 11
The
drivers
next
on the
race
track is
after
actually,
this, we'll be going to Germany.
it might be
We'll
actually
at
kind of
the
nice.
Nürburgring Endurance, the Nürburgring and Endurance
Oh, that's true.
layout. So that'll be something to look forward to next week. This week, though, GR4 and GR3. Let's take a
Silver
look
linings,
at
I guess.
the series rules. We'll go through this as quickly as possible. Slipstream strength is real. What's important? Light damage for the cars here. Shortcut penalties are on. Pit lane and flag penalties are also on. There is a 10-minute qualifying session for the sprint race. That is run by a grid start with a false check. Tire wear is at 1x. Fuel usage is at 1x. Refuel rate for the sprint race is at 12 liters per second. Pretty quick. You start with 50 liters of fuel. There are two tires required. One tire required rather. The Sport Soft for the sprint race. For the feature race, it's a racing tire there. The grid order for the feature race is decided by the sprint race, which of course is decided by that 10-minute qualifier. The only difference is that P1 through P7 are in reverse, and on that race, it's a rolling start with 2x tire wear. Fuel usage is at 2x. Refuel rate is at a slow 3 liters per second. However, you do start with a full tank at 100 liters of fuel, and 2 different racing tire compounds are required. Our driver lineup in the Pro Series. These are actually, we were not going to read out the full lineup. Let's go straight to their standings if possible, unless this is where they stand in the order. No, this is where they stand. After round 2, we're looking at Wid up top, followed by Ryder, and then Rusty Maggots in 3rd place. The Truth sits in 4th place. Ando in 5th place in the standings. MMR Moose is in 6th. Xander in 7th. Jorge Senior in 8th place. Dezo in 9th, and Shred in 10th place. In 11th, we're looking at Casey
She just
Wilcox,
called
Jeffrey
Jorge
in 12th.
Jorgensen.
High SNR Higher in 13th, Ladler in 14th, Hot Air in 15th, Oak in 16th, Rhyme Spree in 17th place, Corridor in 18th, and Greasy in 19th place in the championship order. There are 4 different teams running. We'll go straight to their standings, as this is also a team championship here. 8 teams, rather.
The other 4 teams. Yep, there are 8 teams in total with a few free agents, and then following right here is going to be their own team point standings.
That's right. You want to go ahead and read up the team standings?
Thank you. It's going to start off with being in first place. It's going to be S7R's Andos Arsenal with 311 points. Followed close behindly is Chikang Bang, which is mostly RWB drivers and PhD drivers. And then the first FFR team, FFR Black. Then we're going to see in 4th place S7R's Truce Demons. Then the 2 NVR teams, Geneva and Redline, very close to one another, only 3 points separating them. And then closely followed behind again is going to be FFR Orange, and then S7R Xander's Zone going to be in last place with 216 points.
Thank you. Go ahead and read out the sprint rules too for this first race.
No worries. As we mentioned before, tonight's sprint race is going to be in the Toyota GR4, specifically the GT86, qualifying for 10 minutes. Then we're going to see a 14-lap sprint. It's going to be a grid start plus false check. It's going to be BOP, but brake balance is allowed to be adjusted. Racing soft is going to be pretty much the only tire we'll see. A lot of these tire wear and fuel consumption multipliers are going to be attuned for sprint racing, so 1x tire wear, 1x fuel usage, 12-liter refuel rate. Everyone starts with 50 liters, but we're not going to be really expecting anybody to be in the pits. It's going to be in the afternoon. Weather is random, and then of course the time multiplier is going to be at 1x.
Thanks a bunch there. The racing this season is brought to you by Trails and Custom Construction Company. Thank you to them for helping make this possible. Do check them out for any of your home construction. I do believe they also do commercial construction needs. Well, it's almost time. I'm going to try to get in here and gain some insight into what's going on the track, but I believe that almost everyone is in the room getting ready to go and start this 10-minute qualifier here. Are you pretty good around Interlagos, Hover?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those fundamental tracks. It's going to be pretty much a driver's favorite up and down the grid. We're also probably going to see a lot of drivers skiddy to drive this in the pro and the amateur splits. It's a very much a community favorite. As I said before, a lot of this track profile is going to be the continuous hairpins in the middle sector. So we're going to see a lot of people trying to trail break through those, very short but very slow corners.
Yeah, absolutely. This track is so cool. I enjoy it now more than I did, I would say, even just a few months ago. I've just gotten a bit better at it. It's one of those tracks that can be a real nightmare if you're not good at it. It's difficult, it's technical, but it's a lot of fun once you've got it.
Absolutely. And soon here we will have qualifying starts. Fairly soon. And yep, here we go.
Alright, they're out on track here, just trying to get some warmth into those tires, and of course, make some space for themselves on track. This is Wid, our championship leader, going slowly, making space for himself here on his out lap before he starts a
Why do
flyer.
people try to
With
overtake
10 minutes,
in
you
the
should
out
get
on the outlap?
a few flying laps around here. I think a
I don't know,
lap,
that's why I waited
definitely
to
less
get
than 2
all the
minutes
way to the
for
back.
sure in these cars, yeah?
Absolutely. I think
turkeys.
we're going to be seeing, at least in these group fours, going to be, the poll is going to be around 1 minute 48. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bunch of these drivers stuck in the 149s.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the difference between 148 and 149 is it's harder than you think. it's more than you think. Every corner on this track counts. Every corner requires something different from the corner before it. Like I said, it's such a technical place here.
Absolutely, and now we're seeing Rusty start being the first hot lapper of the lobby, going down into turn 1 in second gear, trying to cut back to get into a good rotation of turn 2, and then the long left-hander going down the first mini straight.
Yeah, it looks like the truth is pretty close behind him, which is surprising. I mean, I guess in GR4 you don't have a lot of aero, so maybe dirty air isn't as much of a factor here, and so maybe the truth is just looking for Slipstream. I see Shred right behind them, so these first 4 drivers at least not trying to make so much space for themselves on the track. Some of them hoping for a tow up that long back straight, I'm guessing.
Absolutely. Honestly, this slipstream, especially on the main straight, is worth around 3 to 4 tenths in Group 4 alone. Like you said, these cars don't have a lot of downforce, but the drag is noticeable down that long straight. So that's what everyone is trying to do. Everyone's trying to be far away enough where the dirty air isn't affecting them, but close enough where they get a tow going down that main straight.
Yeah, let's see if some of them get rewarded. Some of the cons, though, of course, is if the car in front of you messes up, there's not a lot of places for you to go. It's a fairly wide track for these cars, but some of those corners, especially in that middle sector there, somebody has a spin or a crash, you're going to be really hindered. It's going to be hard to get your momentum back as well to get back into the groove of things there.
Absolutely, it's going to be a killer if you do get messed up, and if you get pushed off your line or possibly your flange, and whatever happens, getting off your line, especially going down that main straight, is going to be a massive headache. And
That's
I am
right.
wrong.
Rusty just sorry. Go ahead.
I'm wrong. I was thinking we were going to the 139s, but we are actually in the 139s. So I was just off by 10 seconds there.
That's correct. Rusty going fastest, but then immediately Ryder comes back with a 139.2. So these are first laps. Again, tires are still a little bit cold on these hot laps, so I think we're going to go even faster than the 39.2 that Ryder is set here. Some people still settling in, and I don't know who that is off to the side. Oh, okay, just I think that was somebody just trying to reset themselves, and now Ryder off, unfortunately, and also getting himself back into the pits. So I guess we're on board with Win now. Not on board, just watching Win goes purple in this first sector here. This track is 3 sectors, I believe, right, Hover? 3 sectors.
Yep.
Yep.
3 sectors.
It's a fairly long track for just 3 sectors, but the sectors are coherent. They kind of make sense.
Yeah, the middle sector is pretty much all the hairpins. The first sector is going to be that long chicane, and then the long left-hander, and then the third sector is pretty much all the uphill. But a lot of this track kind of folds into itself, as you can tell, with the the multiple hairpins. So it's technically long, but it's deceptively short.
That's right. The lap around here, deceptively quick. Like you said, you thought it'd be 148s, 149s. We're actually looking at 139, so about 10 seconds quicker than that. And so far, nobody's beat Ryder's time at that 139.227. So a little surprised there that we haven't seen anything, though. We have some folks coming up the hill now. Let's see what Win drops. He's been going purple since we've been with him.
Yep, and he's
Across
stuck
the line.
right behind that toe. So it's going to be a 138.9. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a pole lap right there, but we have plenty. We probably have another 2 or 3 hot laps, judging by the time. Plenty of time for Ryder or anyone else to respond to that.
I'm not surprised at all. Now, tell me, Hover, maybe you can give me some insight that I don't see here, but I'm seeing a lot of folks setting that fast lap and then jumping into the pits. For what reason? Tire wear's not on. These cars aren't that heavy. Certainly, you're not overheating the tire after just one hot lap. What seems to be... What's the deal?
There's 2 main reasons why you will want to do it, especially when the tire wear is so low. There is a very strange occurrence where, on the high tire wear tracks, even though tire wear may be off or very low, you will be overheating the tires a little bit, and these drivers are so, in tune with their cars that they will be feeling it, and going back into the pits will just reset those tire temps. The other thing, though, is you could just simply want to have a lot of space to yourself and, have a qualifying is the mental game, is having complete confidence in your car, and just having that extra space goes a long way on that end.
Got it. Understood. Well, I figured maybe it had something to do with tire temperature, but I didn't realize that folks would go ahead and just reset it. I usually just kind of stay out and take an easy lap, but that's me. I figure it ends up being about the same as going into the pits and having to take an out lap, etc. Though I suppose that doesn't completely reset your tire temps, which is what everyone's going for right now. How much longer do we have left here? Just a couple minutes. 2 minutes, 20 seconds for folks. We're with Ando right now as he enters the second sector. Just trying to keep it nice and neat through here. He's sitting in 9th place. He's got an opportunity to improve for sure. Very nice and neat there through turn 6. Coming through some of the more difficult hairpins. I think that's Pinarino. I can't pronounce anything in Portuguese, by the way, so I'm going to mess up a lot of these corner names. Might just call them by their corner numbers if I can remember them. Mergulo here has got one last corner, one last braking zone at least before it is all full throttle coming up this final hill. He's going to pass through Subito dos Boxes. He's going to keep a nice, neat, tight line through here in this slower car. No need to take up all of the track like you would in a Formula car or something that's a little bit quicker. A shorter line or tighter line is a shorter line, and Ando is going to not improve. Actually 7/10 down on that lap, but he's still got a little bit more time. He can get one more in.
Absolutely. It's one more lap for pretty much everyone right now. There's going to be your final one. You already set your banker, so you might as well go to the absolute limit. As I say that, Wade does get a small improvement, a 138.8. So getting into the pits and coming out in space seems to have worked for him.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't seen any new lap records set in a little bit here until Wid just set his there, and yeah, we did see Wid going to the pits. This is about as much time as he would have needed to take that out lap and put in another flyer. Here comes Ryder, aka Yagami, with a I missed it. Missed what that
139, I believe. Yeah, 139.1.
139.1. Gotcha. So still not close to Wid, and he sits in second place, 3/10 back from Wid. So far nobody's beaten him. We're with Hot Air now, finishing up the second sector. He sits in 11th place. I'm sure he doesn't want to be there. He's 1.4 seconds off the pace, almost 1.5 seconds. So this is his last chance to see if he can do something that's not last place. And as I say that, the final lap message popping up on screen there for us. Oh no, big wiggle there, and that is going to lose him anytime he might have gained in the last couple of sectors. Going up that hill, you don't want anything to compromise your acceleration. He's going to be feeling that all the way through until he crosses the line, unfortunately, here. And I'm guessing it's not going to be an improvement because of that bobble. Sure enough, he loses half a second. Half a second down rather than his best time.
Yep, it's unfortunate. As you said, he got loose on the
Ando, we were pretty close.
It basically sealed his fate. Anything that he tried to improve in the first two sectors was just out the window, unfortunately. But this is just qualifying. There's no points here. It's all about what happens in the sprint race. So plenty of time to recover.
Plenty of time, and yeah, it is just a sprint race. Just a few laps here today. I believe we're doing 14, if I'm not mistaken. I'll double check that because I'm not
Pretty sure
right
you're correct.
anything, quite frankly. But so it matters, right? 14 laps is not a whole lot of time for you to make up any time if you mess up. So track position is super important here, but ultimately there's two races here. There's this one, and then there's the feature race in the end, which, depending on where you finish the sprint race, could be
Is Corridor in the
favorable
pit?
for you to win the feature, as we saw last week.
I feel like he is.
Yeah, he
Bruce,
is.
It's like,
finished his
why?
race, kind of a mediocre finish. Mid
People
pack
just
there,
don't understand
7,
how it works.
but that got him
It's
pole
always
position for
Cross the line.
feature race, and he did really well.
It's all good.
Absolutely. 7th place in the sprint race is the tactical pole for the feature race. So, you got good advantage at the beginning of the feature race, but just you know, you are finishing 7th.
Good lap, Wid.
So whoever is in first, who's
Yeah,
starting 7th
thanks.
in the feature, well, they definitely have pace. And while it's an advantage, it doesn't exactly
That's my
last throughout
personal
the entire
best.
race. But you know, we just finished quali with pole position with a 38.8. Behind him, Ryder with a 39.1, Tretta 39.3, Rusty 39.4, Corridor with a slightly slower 39.4, Naraha 39.5, Truth with 39.6, Stig with a 39.9, and then Ando with a 39.9, bit slower, Jeffrey with a 40 flat, and then Ha'ayir with a 1 minute 40.3. That's the grid that's being set right now. Pretty soon we'll start this sprint race, and do you have any predictions, Toddy?
Yes, of course. Turn 1 and turn 2, there shall be spins going into the Senna S's there. That's just, I mean, sorry, those corners are just kind of diabolical, quite frankly. So I expect to see some mistakes made there and some races really affected. But I think that the key to this race is going to be keeping momentum. These aren't the fastest cars in the world. You're already in GR4, which is kind of a slow class, but you're on top of that. You're on a car that doesn't accelerate very well, but you're at a track that requires speed and momentum, right? The second sector there is super slow. You have a lot of hairpin corners that you're going into and out of, and you don't have the horsepower to really squirt out of them. So we're trying to maintain momentum through there. Certainly the whole last couple of corners there, turns 12 through 15 before you get into the start finish line, all of that is momentum. It all starts at turn 12. Yunsao, just trying to make sure that you flick it up that hill and get on the gas as quickly as possible. Anyone who can keep that in mind will do well in this race.
Yeah, with these Group 4 cars, as you said, you know, they don't have a lot of horsepower, so because of that, they're not entering corners very quick, they're not exiting corners very quick. So a lot of these drivers are going to be trying to, you know, keep their, you know, minimum apex speed as high as possible, right? That when you're doing the corner right,
Toddy get disconnected from the chat or something?
No, they're just going through. I'm listening to the stream, and
Okay.
they're just making sure I don't rush it. They're still commentating.
While we shouldn't expect anyone to visit the pits this sprint
Gotcha.
race, we should, you know, take
Echo.
note of all the drivers and the tire wear that they're going to be, you know, picking up.
Do I have an echo?
Because tires will matter by the end. I think.
Yeah, I can hear me.
10 will pretty much be the turning point.
Oh, wait.
Where the drivers
Let me turn off my.
and who can really push the end
I can't
from there.
hear any echo.
That's right.
Fine.
That's right. I'm really looking forward to it.
Maybe it's
here.
Ando. Maybe you have the echo.
All right, so we are just waiting on
Now I don't hear it.
the notification from the race director that they're ready to start here.
I don't hear it
Grid
now.
is being set as we speak,
Oh, here we go.
and then we have 14 laps of this, a quick break,
All right, let's go. I
and then
think, yeah, Steve
29
did
laps
something
in
there.
GR3 cars
Maybe.
around here, which should be a real treat. The GR4s too.
Oh yeah, both of these races are going to be fun, and it's just to the nature of the
Crap,
track.
oh, there we go. Okay.
As I said before, community favorite across the
Y'all can hear me?
Gran Turismo community.
Yep.
And we are
Do you hear my echo?
sprint race right here, right
I do not.
now.
Okay, it's
No.
because my TV volume was up. So
And we should be turning onto the race, onto the grid.
Yep. Much like last
Is your
week.
chat not going into your headset or something?
no, I had it coming out of both, but I
Now,
forgot
these
to
are
turn
standing starts with
down my
false starts being penalized. There shouldn't be a
TV.
big deal in these cars. They should grip up just fine off the line, especially on racing soft tires. So for most people, just keep your foot on that brake or on the e-brake button and just let it go. No need to really modulate the throttle coming off. And sure enough, they are off. Ando is going to be sitting first. Oh, we have a glitched order. It should, I believe, fix itself once we pass the first sector marker there. But I was like, yeah, Ando is not first. Wid is in first place here, followed by Ryder, aka Yagami, and close behind them, I saw Shred and Rusty Maggots kind of side by side there. I think we're too wide for second and third
You're okay.
place there. These
Keep
two
pushing.
getting through turn 3 Neely. Yeah, sure enough, not second and third, but fourth and fifth going side by side. Naranjo and Rusty Maggots, followed by several others who were just kind of watching this battle play out to see if anything's going to happen, to see if any advantages can be taken at the start of this race. But I think lap one is about survival, right? However, it's just kind of like let's get through it, let's get into formation, and then we can start really racing each other.
That's very much every driver's priority on lap one, but Rusty did lose 2 positions. He started third, now he's down to 5th. Shredder and Naranjo, I think that's how you pronounce his name, sorry if I, or Naranjo, my bad, move up 1 position.
Whoa!
Let's see, Naranjo is Oak, actually. Sorry, I guess my screen is a little bit glitching out, but Corridor in 6th, Truth in 7th, Stig in 8th, Jeffrey in 9th, Javier in 10th, and Ayundo is in 11th, right behind him. But going back to the front, Wid having 8/10 ahead of Ryder. Ryder had a good run into the first corner, but wasn't able to capitalize with an overtake.
That's right. And once you've missed your first opportunity to pass around here, it can be pretty hard to try to catch and pass again because, as you mentioned, dirty air is a thing. Though shouldn't affect these cars too badly. But you know, now you're looking at cars that have almost identical, well, not identical, almost identical performance, right? You're braking the same as the other guys, braking, acceleration, etc. It is going to come down to driver skill and where your strengths are on this track to even be able to catch back up to Wid and try to make a pass for Ryder here. Easier said than done. I mean, we've seen Wid do a lot of racing, and very, very rarely do we catch, you know, somebody either beating him outright on pace or him making a mistake that allows someone to beat him. So, uphill battle.
It is an uphill battle for Ryder, but if we go down to 9th, we see this nice little train. Jeffrey in 9th, right behind Stig, Corridor, and Truth. This, you know, these hairpins are a little bit harder to overtake since you don't have a lot of speed going out of them. But you know, we're gonna see Stig or Jeffrey right behind Stig in the toe. I think we may see a move going into turn 1. Gets a little bit wide on the exit, loses a little bit of speed up the hill, but he's still in that toe. Stig is in the toe of Corridor. The slipstreams might cancel out each other, and we'll see right here.
Yeah,
Trying to shift as late as possible. Yep.
That's right. Everyone should be getting equal toe because everyone's just about equally placed. It's gonna come down to how they separate themselves in the twisty stuff. But Jeffrey just trying to stick with it, trying to stick to Stig. You can see him being really efficient with just his shift points and everything in this car. Obviously, it's not helpful to have extra shifts for no reason there, but I don't think he's looking to necessarily gain anything just yet. I think he just wants to hold on and see what he's going to get.
Yep, eventually this pack is going to spread itself out, and you know, the front cars will lose slipstream, and that's when everyone wants to pounce on the guy ahead. But you know, as you said, everyone's just trying to sell it in, everyone's just trying to make sure that they keep the slip. The slipstream is the most important thing around here, especially in these cars. Like I said, that main straight that alone is a rough around 3 to 4/10.
That's right. That's right. So that is Jeffrey in 9th place. We'll keep an eye on that pack there. Jeffrey, Stig in front of him, Ando just behind him, and I think that's Hot Air behind Ando there. Ooh, Jeffrey loses the rear end just a little bit there. He manages to hold on to it going into the first of the hairpins. That hairpin is definitely one of the more difficult corners, probably the first. No, it's actually the second difficult corner. Oh, and in the background, who was that spinning way off? I think that was 9th place or 10th place now.
Oh, they got reset.
11th, actually, that was Corridor. Huge spin for Corridor.
Corridor went off, yeah.
Down the hill towards Yucao, down Mergulo, I think is where that was. Oh no, that was coming uphill. My fault. Going through Yunsao, he got on the grass on the outside, which of course is slippery and unfortunately just spins him out onto the left-hand side. So now he is all alone, 7.3 seconds back, and he's going to have a lonely rest of the sprint race. I don't think there's enough laps for him to catch up and race anyone unless someone else also has a spin. Naranjo,
but
Oak with a half-second penalty here. Hover, go ahead.
yep, Truth right behind him, but Oak is getting racy behind Rusty. Will he go for a move here? He thought about it. He looked down the inside, but went back. He gets onto the inside. Fully
Got
passes
him there.
Rusty right now, but he does have a penalty going up that hill. It's going to cost him around 1.5 to 2 seconds. I think Oak may be losing 3 or 4 positions by the time they go to the hill.
That's right. I mean, had to get the position done, right? Had to get the pass done just to say, hey, I can do it. But also, it can be helpful to get in front of somebody, even when you've got a half-second penalty there, because maybe catch their coattail and get their slipstream coming back past the penalty zone. I don't think he's going to get that much space to do that, but at least he's got another car in between himself. Maybe he can tuck in behind the Truth here as he takes that penalty now. Oh, a little bit weird. He stayed out of the racing line there. I think Rusty was just looking to get as much of a toe as he could from him. Almost hit him, but sure enough, okay, able to slot in behind Truth and not lose too much time there. He still got an opportunity. Meanwhile, Truth is all over Rusty. Yeah, all over the back of that 86. I think he sees first and third running away, and maybe wants to get around. Try and get up front there.
Yep, Truth could be faster than Rusty in this stage, and he's really close. Will he go for a move? He doesn't, stays behind patiently. I wouldn't be surprised though if we see turn 1.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't try to make the move there, though. It's so hard to make a clean move there and make a fast pass there. I'm guessing he'd rather catch up to first and third than outright make a pass on Rusty. Or at the very least, if he's gonna pass, he's gonna want to pass him cleanly so he doesn't lose too much time. And right there, it's often a losing game to try and get 2 cars through there. Okay, but Rusty definitely holding him up. It's quite clear because it's not just Truth, right? It's Oak back there, and then behind Oak you've got Stig. So Rusty's got to get out of the way or find some speed. Might get put out of the way.
That's what Rusty needs to do right now. Yep. I think, but I think Rusty should preserve his position as long as humanly possible. It's, if he doesn't have the pace right now, it seems very unlikely that he's going to find the pace later on. So right now, I think Rusty just wants to defend because he doesn't really have anything to gain, right? Third place is how far ahead? It's 3.5 seconds. Realistically, he's not going to be able to close that gap. So Rusty, I think, his best interest in mind right now is just to try to keep his position.
Just keep his position, keep these cars behind him, and it is what it is. If they're not ever able to get into podium contention, he's going to try to hold on to fourth. That makes sense to me, especially given that there are no pit stops in this race. There's not much in the way of strategy. It is outright pace and track position there.
Come on, Oak.
A little bump from Oak on the Truth for that pass. I think he might need to give it back if there was a little bit of a bump and run there. But that is a change for position. Oak Naranjo into 5th place over the Truth, and now he's going to chase down Rusty and see what he can do. Did I hear that we have a replay on that?
That was
Okay.
that wasn't the cleanest
Do
pass.
you have a replay on that? We're looking at Oak. This is chase cam from Oak's view. He gets in there, a little bit of a tap. I mean, it's rubby. I wouldn't call it dirty. I don't think he pushed him. I think he touched him, and even if there was a little bit of a push, it took the Truth off his line there. It wasn't anything serious, and it doesn't look like he was purposely trying to bump and run him there. I think you just race on at that point. That just is what it is.
I think feels the same because he's right behind Rusty. 3.5 tenths. Let's see if he does go for a late brake maneuver. You can go for that, especially if you get to the first apex first, but he's a bit too far away. I think he's gonna try to line him up going into turn 4.
Yeah, a little bit too far for a move for my comfort there. Almost 3.5 tenths. But yeah, setting him up, or at least letting him know that he's there. He did still brake pretty late behind him. Just kind of letting him know, hey, I am wanting to make a move here, maybe throw him off his line a little bit, make him a little bit nervous. I think ultimately it did lose him a little bit of time, but nothing too serious. He'll easily catch back up to him, but he's got to be careful. He has to make this pass cleanly. He basically can't let the truth get in front of him, and of course behind the truth there's Stig right there too. So if you mess that pass up, you potentially lose one position, maybe even two. Stig's a little further back than he probably wants to be though.
Yep, a little bit, just 1.5 seconds right there. But I think the other thing that they need to, keep in mind is don't let the pressure, don't let the adrenaline get them a penalty, right? It's very easy to go over the white lines here and catch yourself a half-second penalty there and there. So, these guys, while they're, in the fight, they need to keep track of their track limits.
They do. Track limits around here are a little bit strict, and actually as you were saying that, we looked at Jeffrey and he had a half-second penalty that he probably picked up for track limits, and he himself is in a train as well, a slipstream train that he may lose because of this penalty. I didn't really get a look at who was around him and how they were set up, but he may end up losing his toe because of it. Oak around Rusty coming into turn one. He makes it happen before the braking zone there. So another change of position. Rusty does lose fourth place. He's down in the fifth, and now the truth probably thinking, okay, well, me too. Maybe I can do that as well. Couldn't make it happen before, but he's got to catch back up to try. Oh, and immediately in the braking, gets right up to Rusty there. I think Oak kind of slowed him down. Oak out wide, he picks up a penalty, and it ends up slowing him down because he's got to wait to get on the throttle. So Rusty getting a nose up ahead of him there. Oak not easily giving it up. He's got the inside for this uphill right-hander, and he is going to keep his position, but he is looking to lose fourth place once he has to serve that penalty in just a few corners here. Man, we talked about penalties. Like, we're literally, as we're talking about them, people are getting them. The track penalties around here are, they're not harsh. I wouldn't call them harsh, but they are kind of strict, and the curves are really big and slippery, so it's kind of easy to end up going over the line and picking up a penalty. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I think sensitive is the best word to use here.
Yes, sensitive for sure. And these two cars gonna slide around the truth, and the truth gonna try to catch up to their coattails and just hang on for a toe there before Stig can take a position, though he may be closer to Stig now than he is to Oak.
Truth going down the inside of turn one, brakes a little bit later, gets the apex first, and Truth solidifies his fourth place. Does Rusty have any pace to make a sort of a comeback? I don't know, but Oak is right behind, and Stig is right behind. Stig is actually now really in this battle for sixth and possibly fifth.
He is
That's
because of Oak's
the
penalty there. Yeah, absolutely. And
Yep.
I think I was saying the truth got the penalty, which was wrong, obviously. But yeah, because of that penalty, Stig might have just picked himself up one though. I think he just went over the curb a little bit much. We'll have to see if he has picked one up. No penalty for him there. I thought it was marginal. It was close. But yeah, he's fully back in it now. Ando nowhere to be seen. He's in the background, right? But he's just not got the pace to stay up with these guys, even with all the back and forth and the positional changes and the penalties. Like, what's he got to do? We saw him struggling to get out of 9th place in qualifying. He's 8th in the race here.
I think he just needs to have luck for for something to happen up in front of him, right? Because, Ando is able to see all the way up to 4th with Truth. And if one of these guys gets a little bit of an opportunistic mindset and possibly hits one or two off the track, Ando can easily pick that up. We hope it doesn't happen, but that's kind of what Ando needs to have right now. He doesn't exactly have the pace to catch up to this four-car train. As I say that, Oak is looking for the inside, but doesn't fully make it. No, Rusty's still ahead of turn 2, going down turn 3, but he's out of the split, and Oak might get a little bit feisty. He is in the
think Oak just missed his braking in turn one there, because who did that benefit? He didn't get a position. Rusty's now even further back from the truth, so they're both missing that toe. I don't think he meant to do that from as far back as he was, and I think he's lucky that Rusty missed the apex. Actually, because I don't even think Rusty knew that was about to happen. Whew.
Regardless, these two guys got out of it perfectly fine. So Oak is still close right behind. Is Rusty in? He's basically out of Truth's slipstream. But Stig is getting closer and closer. He's entering it. He's entering closer and closer for every single time that Oak and Rusty go side by side, or have to fight for a corner.
He is. So this four-way battle for fourth continues. It's starting to become more of a three-way battle for fifth as the Truth continues to run away with all his clean air. But like you said, if he or anyone back here has something happen to them, Ando's not far behind. So that'll bring another car right back into the mix as we work lap 10 of 14 here, starting lap 11. So we're almost done with this race. And this is the battle. This battle's been going on the entire time. I think up front they look a little bit spread out as I look on the map here. First through third, no one near one another. This is the fight on tracks. This battle for fourth.
Yep.
Well, right now, Stig doesn't have to work too hard. Honestly, if he doesn't want to, right? Like you said, 7th place is the strategic place. You get the sprint race, you get 7th here, you get pole position for the feature race. However, Ando is right there, so he can't be too complacent, because then if Ando gets the position, now he's just 8th. Now he's nothing. He's just mid-pack in what is surely going to be also a slipstream race. But this time he won't have the advantage of having the same performance as everyone else around him. He'll be in however his car choice performs.
Yep. As we're saying that, Oak did get into the inside going into, I think that was turn 6, I think. But regardless, Oak is now ahead of Rusty. Does Stig now have the pace to catch Rusty and pass him? That's the real question.
Don't know, but shout out to Rusty, because it's been a long time since I pointed out that he was holding his whole pack up, and he's managed to hold his own. He'd only lost one position up until this point, right? And he still managed to stay with this pack. So just wanted to give him a shout out. We see you, Rusty. I know the pace is probably getting a little bit better as he races around these folks, but the race is almost over. Just gotta try to hang on for 6th place here. And then a short break, and then we're in a whole different set of cars. Stig, do you think Stig wants to make that move? Like I said, Stig's in a good place. Sitting pretty in 7th.
I would, especially just in terms of the long championship, right? Every single point is super valuable. Yep, exactly. So that 6th place points, while it may not be a humongous gain, having that is really important. And while 2nd on the grid for the next race isn't exactly 1st, with a rolling start, there really isn't any chance of Stig, being able to go into turn 1 and challenging for that position. So I think, yeah, battle. Oh, as I say that, Wid is getting a little bit out of shape, and now Ryder is only 4 tenths, 3 tenths. He has the slipstream. I don't know if he's gonna make it into turn 1, but this is definitely the best opportunity he's had all race.
Oh no.
Yeah, absolutely. We did see Wid get a little bit out of shape there, lose a little bit of momentum headed towards Yunsao, but so far, going up the hill, Ryder hasn't had that much of an advantage. I don't think he was fully in the slip the way he was chasing him up that hill there. So Wid survives into turn 1, but is he having trouble keeping that car on track? I mean, we're starting to see a bit of tire wear. The front right on Ryder's car is a little bit low. It's in better shape than Wid's. This
Please
is
don't
Wid's
be.
here. So Wid's front right struggling, front left not looking too great itself, but that front right tire is a tire that you're going to lean on a lot on this track. Lots of long left-handers corners like this are where he's going to struggle with that tire. Let me see. Certainly, you Sal turn 12 as you head towards the back straight. That's going to be a corner where he may not be able to get on the throttle as quickly as Ryder, and that might make all the difference going to like T1 here. If I'm Ryder, I stay patient. I'm all over the back of Wid right now. I'm going to stay right here and see if I can get a better exit out of Sal. See himself setting up really, really well there for turn 19, turn 10 rather, just trying his absolute best to throw Wid off. Ooh, does he do something here? No, but he forces Wid to go a little defensive. If he can get that exit, that is a fantastic exit right there. Yep, Wid is in trouble, and now Ryder really trying to make sure he is in that big hole of air punched by Wid's car. Is Wid gonna stay defensive into turn 1? Looks like it. Ryder's gonna go all the way out wide to try and square off turn 1 a little bit better. See if he can't get an undercut. Wid's gonna beat him to the apex. Manages to park it and saves himself some headache. He doesn't get past. Well defended by Wid. Good attempt by Ryder for sure.
Yeah, this
One
is
more
his
lap.
This is his last opportunity. This is really the last corner Ryder can make a move on Wid. Wid makes a defensive move for the inside. Ryder does not get a better line on the outside. But he does have a run out of this corner.
He does
goes
get a
on
run.
the inside. Now
Absolutely.
he's on the outside of the next corner. He might be able to finish the move here.
If he can be brave on the brakes here, and he is, kind of cuts Wid's nose off just a little bit there. Wid kind of has to back out of it, and that is a pass for first place by Ryder. And now it's going to be really difficult for Wid to get anything back. None of these corners are easy to pass in. All Ryder has to do is keep it to the inside, keep it tight. Of course, if you miss your apex around here, then somebody can absolutely get their nose in and just nudge you out of the way. But if Ryder can hit his marks, stick to his line here, I think he's got it. I think he's got the win.
Yep, I think so. I think he just has better tires than Wid overall, and I think that made all the difference in this final few laps.
That's
Wid
right,
must have
and
made a
this would have
mistake
been
somewhere.
He did make a mistake, and this last corner was the last one where it really mattered. Ryder does a great job going up it, so now we follow him as he climbs his way up the hill towards the start-finish straight. A last-minute pass for him in the second sector of the last lap, and that is the first place finish for Ryder. Wid will take second. Here comes Shred for third place, and then behind him, that whole train of cars. Truth is going to take fourth. Oh, Naranjo, he's coming in with a 1.5 second penalty, so actually Rusty will take fifth. Oak
Wow.
will take sixth place. Stig comes in at seventh, Ando in eighth, and Hot Air in ninth. Corridor now crossing over in 10th. He never recovered after that spin, but Jeffrey
That's
coming
crazy.
in 11th. Ooh, look at that right front
First
tire.
to 8th, 13, under 14
Jeffrey
seconds.
there, so not doing a very good job managing
That's
that tire.
actually really
That
good.
is your sprint race finish. I wonder what happened to Oak. 1.5 seconds. We missed it, unfortunately. That is a huge penalty to take, and as you see, it cost him a position because he wasn't able to actually take the penalty, which adds another half second on top of that. Turns out to be a 2-second penalty, as you see on the finish order here. Why don't you go through that finish order for us one more time here before we switch to the next thing?
Yep, no worries. As we're seeing, right here, right now, Ryder was able to get that last lap maneuver done, granting him the overall win, and then Wid right behind, about 7 times behind, then Shredder in third, Truth in fourth, Rusty behind in fifth by a second gap. Oak getting a 2-second penalty. It was 1.5 on the track, but as Gran Turismo rounds to the next full number, he gets a full 2 seconds. Stig in 7th, meaning he will take pole for the full feature race. Ando in 8th. And then finishing out, it's going to be Hot Air in 9th, Corridor in 10th, and then Jeffrey in 11th. That is the feature's full, results, or the sprint full results, my bad. And soon we are going to be starting the full feature race, starting the group.
Get you on tires, Wid?
cars.
Yep,
Yes.
that's exactly what
okay.
happened.
Man, what a race. What a race, especially that mid-pack
Did not
race
realize that
where
the tires
we
would
were
burn
right
out that
there
quickly.
For a while, just going back and forth, getting penalties, making passes on track, and then definitely got a nice treat there with a last-minute pass for first place. What do you think for this feature race?
I'm gonna start on soft tires.
We do see Stig in pole position. It's not easy to pass around here. What do you think? Do we see him dominate again like we did
Where does
like we saw
eighth
the
place
truth
start?
at Deep Forest last week? Trial Mountain.
Eighth.
Sorry.
I think so, and
Fuck.
you know that's very powerful. But really quick, let's just go over
Always the bridesmaid,
feature
never the
race,
bride.
Rule set. Obviously, we're still staying in Interlagos, and for all Group 3 rounds, all the drivers are able to select their own personal Group 3.
Position he's starting in with? Or,
29 laps around
with
here.
Stig?
Obviously, the
I
qualifying
get
is gonna be
I get
based
to
off the
start in
sprint,
first.
But first through 7th of the
All
sprint
right.
race is going to be flipped around.
That's why I wanted to start on
7th takes pole, and then respectively.
softs so I can
It's gonna
fight with
be
you
a rolling
guys,
start.
or at least do my best to
VOP,
stay in
buff
front of you
brake
guys.
balance, and aero are allowed to be adjusted for every single car.
How much slower are the
But everyone does need
mediums?
to enter the pits at least once
Um,
because
The second.
2 pounds are
Second.
gonna be
About a
required.
second, yeah.
This race
Yeah.
we're going to see a lot more
My
tire
fastest
wear and
lap
fuel usage.
on
Both of them
softs
being
was
at
a
the 2 times multiplier. Refuel rate at 3 liters.
30.7?
Everyone starts
No,
at 100
31.7.
liters, and the race is
And my
gonna be set
fastest
in the
on
evening. Random
mediums
number
is a
time multiplier
it's like a
at
32.9.
1x.
So not quite a whole second.
Evening is fun. Have you ever raced around here at night?
That's 1.2.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Not
yeah.
at night, but I think
I went
I've
the other
done
way.
it once or twice in the evening.
All right,
Typically, all
let's-
my actual races are done in the.
For me, full fuel, the
short
difference is
race.
exactly a second.
I don't know if this track could be raced in night in real life. I don't know if they have floodlights installed here. I could
Yeah,
be
I'm just
wrong,
gonna
but
try.
WEC doesn't race here for the night. I know that.
Purely.
I'm not sure either,
not
and I'm
really
pretty sure
failing
that
on
the
softs,
Grand
at
Prix, the
least.
Formula One Grand Prix, is also always during the day. And what we'll have to see, because in the game, I feel like sometimes when it says evening,
Did you
quote
not
unquote,
see
it's
his
not
message?
full night.
Oh no,
So
what
it
did he
might
say?
not even actually be dark. at
He
the
said he
track,
has
'cause
to close the game
I
real
can't
quick.
picture
Oh,
a
okay.
driving here at night, even in the game. But if
No, I missed it. I
if
saw
it's
I saw
evening or night
McNaughty's.
or whatever, either way, track temperature will be a little bit cold. This track is really hard on tires, right?
Oh, he even
Rough
yeah,
track
I see
on
it now.
tires. A cold track is a slippery track, and so you'll get a lot of scrubbing through there.
All right.
What are you thinking as far as strategies, or have you spoken to anyone
Alright, this
already
car
about
feels
their tire
completely
strategy
different.
here?
Well, you know,
I suppose it should
just
be
so happened
warming
that
up.
a little birdie told me that the expected strategy is everyone is probably going to start on mediums. They're going to see the medium tires to around lap 14 to 17, and then they're going to finish out the softs, which is, you know, depending on when they pit, is anywhere from 12 to 15 laps. Unless they start on softs, which would then flip the strategy around. If you start on softs, we will probably see them go to lap 12 to 15 and then
Hot
finish
air.
it out on mediums. No one is
Jeffrey
expected to go
and
onto the
Corder.
hards,
Just waiting
as
for
they would
Oak.
last too
We
long,
could get
they're
him.
too slow. But
He just rejoined the lobby.
depending on
Sweet.
these cars, I think you could possibly
Make sure you guys
do the
set
full
your
race distance without refueling.
Huh? Depending on the car, possibly.
Tire and aero.
That's so hard though.
set your tire and
especially
arrow.
with,
There we go.
That run up to the start finish line, being uphill, full throttle. I would imagine, obviously, maybe the torquier cars could probably short shift their way up there, but some of these cars are gonna have to run those revs up. So yeah, I guess it will depend on the car.
Well,
Yep,
and your
I
steering
think
wheel sensitivity
if
with it.
anyone does attempt to, because the
Okay.
advantage of not refueling in the pits is at the minimum you get roughly 2 seconds of an advantage, right? The animation in this game for the pit crew to simply put in the hose into your car, even if
fine.
you don't refuel at all, right? That
I am
animation is
ass.
at least worth 2 seconds. Of course, multiply that by the actual fuel that
I think it's the car.
it's a decent
really
thing
not
to
good here.
hit. And you know, if you're close behind somebody, right? You
Yeah, I
could be
thought it
1
would be.
second behind. If you choose to not refuel, you could automatically jump them and you know be 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds
No
ahead of them.
IRO, it's
Mind
Oak
you, that's
starts
gonna be at
second.
the cost of heavy fuel fuel saving, especially.
It's not good with those second gear corners.
See, I think anyone really fuel save going down the main straight and you know. The
440, 540.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if 1 or 2 people really short shift in that middle sector.
I wouldn't be surprised either. Yeah, that middle sector, it makes sense. You don't need the best acceleration
McNaughty
that your
back?
car can give you because the next corner is coming up so.
I'm driving. I don't know.
Oh,
So that's
he is.
That's definitely not an issue there. And yeah, back straight, no short shifting probably. I guess yeah, we'll see. Fuel saving super important, especially with it being such a long pit stop here, like you said. So we'll see who's got what as far as advantages.
McNaughty said to go, but Hover said to wait.
Folks are driving.
Yeah,
Jeff is
I'm
not on
We're
track.
waiting for folks to start. I think we'll be going
What is
any
going on?
minute now. So let me see if I can take a quick look. Oh, of course, they're jumping into the pits when I can see. Ando's in the GTR.
Why did he say Jeff?
So probably not much.
Jeff
fuel
needs to
saving
be in
going on
last.
that thing. I don't think it does very well with short shifting, but maybe in that middle sector or even going to fuel map 2 or 3 in that.
Oh, let me double check the.
Got another GTR.
Oh, I had him backwards.
And
That's
the
good.
AMG for Ryder. So the AMG GT is a great car, easy to drive, and yeah, big torque monster. So that one should see some fuel savings there. Shred in the Aston Martin, I believe that one is a V8, right? V8
No,
Vantage?
it's
12.
B12.
It's a 12. That one's a 12.
He's
so
good now.
Probably not
Yeah.
short shifting that thing very much, I would imagine.
No, if I remember correctly, the Aston is a little bit decent on fuel, if I remember.
Okay, nice. The Truth in the 458, which probably one of the best looking GTE cars in that era for sure. I haven't driven that car in this game in GT7, but I remember it not being the most fun as far as the mid-engine cars go to drive it. Tracks like this with
You
so
said
much
go?
elevation change and so much direction
I mean,
change.
Naughty said go
How
a
is
while
it
ago.
now? Do you know?
It's decent.
Okay, I'm just gonna
The
confirm with
advantage
the.
is that since it's rear engine, the front tires are going to be a little bit more protected, which is important around here. I think that's going to play a huge significance because the tire wear is expected to be worse here than at Trial Mountain.
They're having good conversation. I didn't want to mess it up.
100%.
But yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
The advantage there.
They aren't the priority.
Big advantage there
I know.
for sure, and I think when it's acting right, it's a pretty decent handler, which this is
Okay, I'm going.
for sure a handling track, if any track is. Let's see, we got Oak in the M6. Now that's a little bit surprising. Those twin turbos. I mean, this car's gotten easier to drive over the years for sure, but I can imagine that 2 turbos kicking in when you're already in a big V8
Oh,
in the middle of
Lord.
a slow corner isn't fun.
I'm in front. Survival.
But as we say that, we're going to be starting here really soon.
Yes, we are. It's a rolling start this time.
Yeah, y'all just rev your engines, waste that fuel.
As we said before, Stig finished 7th, so he takes the pole. Behind is Oak, Rusty, True, Shred, Wid, Ryder, Ando, Hot Ayer, Corridor, and Jeffrey.
That's right.
And we are green.
And we are green. The Rusty already looking to make a move. Not Rusty, sorry, Oak. Already looking to make a move there. No, that was Rusty on Oak, but he doesn't make anything of it. They stay in the same order. Oak remains in 2nd place. Naranjo there. Rusty Maggots in 4th. Truth behind them in, 3rd, 4th there. Side by side for Wid and Shred going into Decido. Shred will remain in 5th place, but oh my gosh, he's already up the inside of Truth, and it's looking a little bit touchy there, a little bit naughty between them. I think he ends up taking it. The Truth in trouble though. That slows him down enough that he's under attack by Wid. Wid will tuck in behind him though and let him remain where he's at. So the Truth loses a position. Shred here in these GR3s. How hard is it to go from GR4 to a GR3 in the same track, same day, just a couple minutes between the two?
It's difficult because the braking points are easy to adjust. just the whole feel of the car is going to be different, right? The way it slides for the corner, the way the front rips in, especially since everyone's able to adjust their aero. Everyone is probably turning in a lot better than their completely stock aero counterparts, right? That's a huge, pretty much the meta for aero tuning is to increase the front aero and keep the rear aero the same, or put it down a little bit lower so everyone could have a better
Stop
turn-in.
car, damn it!
So, you know, it's difficult, right? Because you are able to turn in a lot more, hit these corners a lot faster, but you have to brake a little bit harder.
That's true, and I, already noticed a couple of things that look like just, a surprise at the turn-in ability of the car, and people getting caught out there on the throttle as well. Did see Wid make a pass on the Truth earlier, but the Truth not making it easy for him to hold on to it. He's remaining all over the back of him, which makes sense because he's got Ryder all over the back of him. So he'd really like to get that position back. He's got an aggressive AMG all over him. Ryder up the inside already, though, going for 4. And I thought they touched, but they didn't. They're okay. Ryder takes the position away, so Ryder up into 6th. The Truth has gone from 4th to 7th in the span of 2 laps here, 2.5 laps for the Truth, and it's not starting out great for him in the Ferrari.
Unfortunately not, but if we go a little bit further ahead, Rusty is right behind Shredder, 4 tenths. He probably not making a move going to turn 1, but he is in the position to set it up going into turn 4 down the 2nd straight.
We'll see if he can. For sure. I do wonder what's up with the Truth. Do you think maybe it's just a matter of trying to get heat to those front tires? Like you said, it's a mid-engine car, so he's got the advantage that the front tires will be saved a little bit, but it also means that they will stay cold a little bit longer than everyone else's. Maybe having some turn-in or initial bite issues with braking.
Could be, but especially at the beginning of the race, right? Momentum matters so much. You gain positions, you tend to gain even more positions. You start losing positions, you tend to lose a lot at the beginning. One little interesting tidbit is that typically with the mid-engine cars, though, is that you will need to run a little bit higher rear downforce than your front-engine counterparts. So because of that, typically, I think we're going to see Truth get a little bit of a top speed deficit to Ryder, Wid, everyone else in the front of them that's running the front engines. But as I say that, Truth is a little bit behind of Ryder. Just keeping Ryder really honest. He could possibly make a move going into turn 1.
Yep, I see him all over the back of him there. The pass was done, but wasn't open and shut case. And maybe there was a mistake there because they were right behind Wid, but now Wid is 2.3 seconds up the road from them. And I know he's got pace, and I know that Ryder was trying to make a pass, but I don't think he lost that much time. I think something maybe happened that we missed, unfortunately. So that train broken up there. They are out of the slipstream of the cars ahead of them. Wid, Rusty, and Shred, at the very least, are all 3 running together right now. Behind these 2, we've got Ando not far behind, Hot Air and Corridor also kind of obviously the same order that we saw them in at the end of the sprint race this past race. Nothing has changed between these cars here, but another opportunity for them to do a little bit better than they did in the sprint. Same track, different types of cars though, and some people specialize in different categories. Might be better at GR3 than they are at GR4.
Yep, it's definitely possible, right? I feel like I've always been better in the Group 3s and the Group 4s, but, these drivers could have the same affinity. Some of them could have the opposite affinity, right? Some drivers prefer the slower Group 4s where, it feels a lot more mechanical to drive since you have less downforce. And, Ando, Air Corridor, Jeffrey, they're the main thing that's on their minds is just try to move up, right? They had a bit of a bad sprint race, so throw that out of their heads and just focus on getting as many points in the future race as possible.
Yeah, that's really all you can do. Speaking of bad sprint races, all been there for Jeffrey as we stay on him on the camera, but I was just mentioning Jeffrey already 12 plus seconds back, and now it's 14.3 seconds after that big slide that we just watched. So he's in last place. It's a long race. We're 5 laps out of 29 in, but it's hard to keep up and hard to catch up with everyone when you're already on the back foot like that. Stig on the softs, and he's making it work for them. He's running away 3 seconds already to Oak behind him. So Stig going with the strategy of get the fastest tire, use that clean air to absolutely run away from everyone, and then manage to pace and try to hold on to positions once he swaps to the medium tire. Like you said, we don't think we'll see the Hawk in this race, so I'll go ahead and assume that he's going to jump on the mediums.
Yep, not only Stig, but Oak right behind is also on the softs. These front two are decided to take the alternate strategy, right? Everyone else I'm looking at down through the grid is starting on the mediums, so Stig and Oak will enter the pits a little bit earlier than everyone else. Like I said, we can expect them in the pits around lap 12 to lap 15.
Oak's also on
They're going to
softs.
take the mediums to the end, and I like this strategy. Stig took the bold decision. He knew he was in the in the front, and as you said, he had plenty of clean air. So instead of keeping the soft into a later portion of the race where he may be fighting cars, he decided to get the maximum advantage of the softs right here, right now. And right now it's paying off. 3 seconds ahead of Oak is significant. I didn't think we would see such a difference between the two drivers, but Shredder is close behind with the mediums, only 1.4 off of Oak. Wood is also really close. I think he's hungry. I think he wants to move up as fast as humanly possible. But Wood currently doesn't know what tires the guys in front of him are, right? For all he knows, Dig and Oak are also running on the medium. So in whatever case, Wood's best interest in mind right now is just to gain positions and get as close to the front two.
That's right. I mean, he might be able to guess on Stig, right? Based on the fact that Stig's 4.5 seconds up the road, almost 5 seconds up the road. Oak, however, only just like in this last lap was even able to get far enough away to break the toe, and he's still not getting away from them quickly enough. In fact, he's lost time to Shred already. So a big key of this is to break the toe. If you're gonna be on the soft tire, you can't let these guys, stay there and just latch onto you and ride up the hill with you, right? You've got to leave them in the dust, and Oak isn't doing that. It's now less than a second is the gap. Oak has lost a ton of time in that second sector and is continuing to lose time up the hill to Naranjo, to Oak. I'm sorry, to Shred in third place. So he's lost that entire advantage of having soft tires, and now they're 6 laps old.
Yep, Wood was thinking of going for a move there, but he doesn't. But as you said, right, Shred and Wood are really close to Oak. He's struggling in that BMW. The BMW typically has a bit of a weaker rear end, has a little bit less traction than what most of the other front engine cars have. But
Right.
it's I think Oak is just trying to maintain his position right now, right? The second he lets Shred and Wood goes away, he's on the complete back foot, and the podium is pretty much not in reach anymore, right? Oak needs to stay ahead by the time he goes into the pits. That's the most important thing.
He absolutely does. He's got no choice. And even then, I just don't see him coming out of the pits and being able to maintain his position. Not with these two cars as close as they are. But as we say that, Wid making a move on Shred, and he manages to actually make that work out very, very well. Loses minimal time. Oh, that's Oak almost out. Sorry, almost off track there. He lost the back end. So easy to do in that corner. He manages to hang on to it, but to your point, you've got less traction in the rear of that BMW. I think I had mentioned how tough it must be for those twin turbos to spool up on you when you're coming out of these corners, and he's not doing great on the soft tire. I think they're overheated for him. I think he's losing them. The front end, look at those front tires. They're not working out. Now Stig is 5 seconds away, and now Wid looking to make a move around the outside into turn one. He's having to defend against a driver on medium tires. Oh, it's not looking great. He's off his line. He's sliding all over the place through the center S's. He's lucky to keep it on track and to keep it within the track limits, but he is fully under attack here. Wid not playing around. Wid does get the position. Oh, no, he doesn't. Not quite yet, but he knows he has to. If he loses out, Shred is right there. Wid cannot let this go and will not let this go. He's going to go through Shred, trying to go through with him. They've got Naranjo hanging around the outside. They're trying to leave him out to dry. And finally, what was that, like 3-4 corners? Finally, Wid able to make the move. Shred follows through on him, and unfortunately, Naranjo sits down in 4th place on worn soft tires behind him.
I was half expecting them to go 3 wide for a little bit there, but you know, Shred decided to stay patient. I don't know if I would have done that, to be honest. I think that was very good insight with Shred, and that speaks to his experience, right? I think I would have gone 3 wide and possibly, you know, let myself get hit off the track, but Shred decided to not let that happen. And he takes 3rd. He was comfortable. He was happy, content, taking that position, which I think is the right call right now. I think Shred got that move done fairly easy without having to use too much fuel or too much tire, and you know, it's all about trying to keep that podium spot. You know, Shred may not have the pace to outright win this race, but he definitely has the pace to get a podium, and I think that's his target.
Yeah, absolutely. There was some patience there. There was probably a little bit of I'm here in case I get an opportunity as well, which is part of why I think Wid never backed down from trying to get that position. Obviously, it was not fast for him to go side by side with Naranjo for like 3 or 4 corners, but with Shred right there on your bumper, you really can't back out of it, because now you're gonna, not only are you not gonna gain this position, you're gonna lose that position to Shred as well. He had to make that pass, and so he stuck with it until he did. Where's Stig?
Sorry,
You're good. 5.5 seconds up the road. Gone.
Yep, and well, but his tires are starting to look a little bit worn. That front right being less than 50%, and you know, this is going to be the probably the dying laps of his soft stint. I think he's going to really just try to push out as much pace as he can on these softs. You know, obviously make sure he doesn't spin, and try to get into the mediums as quick as humanly possible. Get some fresh rubber, and you know, continue on. This pit stop is fairly long. It's 22 seconds, allegedly, just for the animation to go in and out alone. And you know, with the swapping of tires, with the refueling, it could easily go over 30 seconds, right? So no one here wants to do a two-stop race. And yeah, I think everyone is pretty much in line with fuel. Some of these cars are saving a lot more fuel than others. That could just be to the nature of the cars themselves, but you know, some of them are making the conscious choice of short shifting. I see that Ryder and Rusty, 5th and 6th. Rusty is really good on fuel, at least compared to the cars around him.
I wish I could go straight to 5th, but my keyboard isn't working. So we're gonna slide up to Rusty here. Rusty is doing really well on fuel in that Aston. Are you as surprised as I am to see how many Aston Martins are on track right now? We have 4, I think. The only other car that has multiples is the GTR. There are 3 GTRs on track as well. All 3 of the 3 last drivers, actually. And as I say that, I realize I'm watching a battle here between Rusty and Ryder. So let me get to that. That was Ryder, I think, making that pass on Rusty, wasn't it? I think they were in 6th place before, now in 5th.
Yep, starting the middle sector, right, going up the hill on the long right-hander. Ryder took the inside because Rusty went wide on the apex, and since Rusty was forced onto the inside of the next corner, Ryder was just able to hang around the outside and then take the inside for the next corner, and there was really nothing Ryder could do. But Rusty is trying to come back on him, really stuck into that toe. He may be trying to use some of that fuel that he saved up to try to retake that position. Doesn't look like it. Got a little bit understeery going into turn 2. I think Ryder has this position in the bag. I think he's, you know, licked the stamp and sent the check out. I think he's good.
I think for now, for sure, like you said though, Rusty has a significant amount of gas over him. I mean, it's noticeable, right? As I go back and forth between the two of them, so that definitely matters and will matter when we start seeing people pit in the next couple of laps here. I think you said the mediums will probably go to about lap 14 through 17, but we got folks who are on soft, so we should start seeing the soft runners pit any minute now. I'm surprised they've lasted this long on them, quite frankly. But
Yep.
I go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, we also have to take into consideration, right? These sauce were being used on full tanks, right? So that does cause a little bit more tire wear, a little bit more tire heating, and leads as I say that Stig is going into the pits right now.
No!
11.
I just put
He's
softs
turned
on.
the chain. We'll see if Oak follows him. He doesn't. Oak stays out with worse tires, admittedly, but this could just be trying to keep keep the mediums
Fuck!
into a better
Fuck!
shape going into the
Fuck!
second half of the race.
Yep, you got to follow your strategy. Sometimes you do jump in when you see somebody else jump in and try to cover them off, but I don't think that honestly that Oak is really in a fight with
Wow.
with Stig anymore at this point. We
I
saw that he
just
absolutely
fucked
did not
up.
have the pace to beat him. He has to know that Stig is at the very least on the mediums, and he couldn't beat him on the softs, but Stig was also on the softs, so I don't
Wow.
think that he has to worry about when Stig jumps in and trying to cover him off or anything like that. Stig, meanwhile, comes out 10th in clean air. He's got 8.7 seconds to Ando, so once again, lucky guy, he gets to just hot lap. He comes out on softs.
I'm an idiot.
Do you think he's gonna do two
Oh.
stints? Or no, it wouldn't make sense. I
Well,
don't think
he's
he meant
forced
to do
to
that.
now.
Yeah, I don't think he meant to get him come off on the softs. He's gonna have to pit again to take the medium tire, and he's gonna be kicking himself having to do that. If the softs went 12 laps for you, 11 laps rather, the mediums could definitely have gone the rest of the distance. So I don't think he meant to jump out on softs again.
Nope.
Oh,
It's really unfortunate if he did that by accident, because that second pit stop is basically a drive-through
brutal.
penalty for him.
It's brutal. Yep. That's man. That's hard. Oak now in, so Oak just took the one extra lap and is now in, and he's gonna come off of his softs and probably put on the medium. So that gives Wid the lead on his racing mediums. Now, Wid with the lead. Obviously, he's gonna have to pit, right, to get on the soft tires. So we'll see where he comes out when he does that. But right now, he's finally in a place where he's not fighting. I think he's been battling this whole race so far.
Yeah, pretty much, and that's just the nature of how this reverse grid, causes the race to unfold. Wid was started in what, 6? Yep, because he finished in 2nd, so he started in 6th. So he had to fight his way up. Obviously, he didn't have to fight Stig because he went into the pits. But yeah, Wid is now the essential pole leader, or the essential leader for the medium stint runners, and Shred is close behind with only 3.5 seconds. Ryder made the move on Rusty, I believe, 3.6 behind Shred, and then Rusty falling a little bit away from Ryder in 4th. While I say that, Truth is getting closer in 5th.
Yes, he is. So we might see a pass for position here, and maybe some sort of fighting between the two of these drivers. They are teammates, of course, so they might want to try and go get Ryder up ahead, but they're not teammates in this championship, from what I understand. I believe Truth has his own crew, and Rusty is not in that crew, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's the case. I don't quite remember.
I don't quite
usually
remember
go
either.
But I think regardless, even if they are on the same team, they have a lot of respect for one another. They've raced each other for quite a long time at this point. So, I think it's just going to be a simple duel, just to have some fun, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what else is going on track here? We got Hot Air and Corridor running together. together in 6th and 7th place. Ando behind them. Ando was leading this pack at one point. He was ahead of these two, so something happened to Ando, and I don't think we ever caught it. But Ando now sits in 8th place behind those two. The Stig in 9th, obviously, though, we saw him pit, so that makes sense that he's back there. Jeffrey continues to bring up the rear. He's 15 and a half seconds behind Stig, and then he's got Oak Naranjo behind him coming up, who also just pitted to take a fresh set of mediums. Stig, I guess he's decided to run those softs out as long as he can. Makes sense to me. Even if it was a mistake, you might as well run the fastest tire as long as you can, and maybe do just like a last lap on the mediums. What do you think?
Yeah, at this point, that's the only way really to salvage from that mistake. It happens to everyone at least once or twice, you know. From all we know, this could be his actual strategy, but considering the pit loss time, I'm pretty sure he just accidentally, you know, his finger slipped, hit the wrong button, and he had to put on a second set of softs. But yeah, the only way to really minimize this blunder is just to run it out as long as humanly possible, and hopefully only have to do one lap on the mediums.
That's right. That's right. That's the only thing that's going to salvage it at this point. We got word from our producer, McNaughty, that the Truth and Rust are actually teammates in this championship, so they'll probably be kind to each other as they chase after Ryder. That's not what we want to see. Do we want to see kindness on the track, Hover?
Well, as long as the not kindness doesn't cause a steering ticket.
Right, right. You were like, well.
That causes more headaches for different people. But yeah, I mean, of course, I think they will be battling out regardless, especially in this kind of weird no man's land, right? I don't think Rusty admittedly has the pace to catch Ryder 2.6 ahead. And, you know, the Truth is 4.7 ahead of Javier, so yeah, they're going to be in this weird little no man's land where regardless of what they do, they can't really push ahead, and they're pretty safe from behind.
Yeah, not unless Truth can try to get up there and maybe start giving Rusty a couple strategic bump drafts. But I don't see that he's even really staying caught up to him. To be honest, that gap staying around 1 second, so not quite out of the slipstream, but not getting a huge buff either from it.
Nope, and his rear tires are looking a little bit sketchy. Not exactly the condition you want to see them in a rear engine car. But you know, we are getting to pretty much the beginning of when we expect these medium runners to go in. So hopefully the softs last a little bit longer, especially with the lighter fuel load.
That's right. And you know, he's got more tire wear back there, but also he's still got, you know, he's gonna have the weight of the engine back there to add traction. It's just funny that it's also the reason why he's got the tire wear, the additional tire wear, right? Weight of the motor back there, and like you said, he's probably running, I think you said higher rear down force on that car as well. Should help him. Should help even out the fact that his tires are worn out. But
yeah, well, not too much higher, just higher. Oh,
what do you see? Got Rusty in. Rusty into the pits. He's going to come off the mediums, not to the soft. So this is the first of our medium runners now pitting. This is lap 16 that we're seeing that. Let's see just how long it takes for him to get into the pit lane, and then if we can stay with him here, you'll see the pit exit. No fuel needed in this race. Everyone seems to have confidence that they're going to make it on gas. I don't think we've seen anyone even take so much as a splash. And sure enough, Rusty out of there and just making his way out of that long snaking pit lane. This iconic track. This track's been around since the 40s, I believe. Yeah. Since
I have no idea.
19. Yep, since the 1940s, yes, and it's had many iterations since then. So it hasn't always looked like this, but it has generally been a technical winding track right around here, around this lake, with a lot of elevation change. So it hasn't lost much of the character that it had from the very beginning. Just super iconic Formula One track here.
Yep, as we see that, we see Ando being bunched up with Corridor and Javier, but Ando goes into the pit lane along with Wid. Stig
That's right.
is right
Those are true.
behind. Yep, and Truth. Stig right behind this little, these last few runners on the mediums. I hope he doesn't get caught up, but he should end up ahead of
Come
Wid.
out ahead of Wid. Yep.
Yep.
There's Wid
Mind
in
you,
the
that's-
shot right there that we saw. Yeah.
Yep.
So that
That's
brings.
mostly
Sorry. Go ahead.
That's mostly because of the sauce, but yeah, Wid is out. I don't think he took any fuel at all. And yeah.
That's right. He comes out, and yeah, that is because Stig was been on the softs, but unfortunately now he's got traffic. He's got traffic on worn mediums, so he comes out ahead of Wid, and those tires are still going to be fast for him, but he's got traffic ahead of him, and he's got to hope that they're going to pit this lap like all the other medium runners. But if Corridor stays out again, or Hot Air stays out, I mean, look, he's all over the back of them. He knows he needs to be going as fast as he possibly can right now, as Wid is going to come out on those fresh softs, and he's unable to. Unfortunately, he's being massively held up here, side by side with Corridor, trying to decide: do I fight this guy? Do I try to make passes? What do I do? Do I hope he's going to pit? Because he is, oh man, he's got so much more pace than them, and this has got to be super frustrating for him. He came out in clean air. He was doing great. And now looks to be stuck behind these two cars here. Hot Air stays out. Corridor in, Hot Air out. Stig did get a little bit of a toe up the hill. He's going to get a little bit more from Hot Air, but there's Wid also in the frame that we saw. So he's not far off, and he's on fresh tires. There's nothing Stig can do here. He's a sitting duck.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's just a blunder.
Did you get that
know,
time on medium,
getting
Stig?
onto the softs, and I don't know what I would do for Stig. I feel like looking at the gaps behind, right? If he pits right now, he would go to the back of the pack, and he would have to fight all these guys again. Most of them are on softs, on
That's
a
right.
set of mediums, and that's just not going to be really worth it. So I think he still has to just stick it to the end with these softs, as long as he can. It's just very hard for him to recover from this mistake.
It's gonna be super hard. Meanwhile, Wid just dropped the purple first sector, so Wid going faster than he or anyone else has gone on the track behind him. It's only a 5.6-second gap right now. The Stig's still stuck with Hot Air, literally stuck behind him, and watching that gap go down by tons and tons of time. And he's got to hope that Hot Air goes in now. He can't pit now, like you said. He's just gonna have to fight everyone again. But if Hot Air doesn't go in, where does he go? Hot Air is going to go in. He's jumping into pit lane, but he held Stig up massively for 2 laps. And so now the Stig just has to run away. You can see Wid in the background there, way closer this time around. He stays in the frame way longer at that same view that we saw him before. 4.5 seconds now is that gap. So, to your point, all Stig can do is go quick, right? He's probably not gonna get this position or keep this position from Wid. Might as well not even fight him when he shows up. Just let him pass, because you still got Shred there in 3rd place that you maybe could try to beat. He's 10 seconds behind Wid. Of course, Stig doesn't know that. It's not long enough, though. It's not enough for him to pit and take mediums and still keep even that position.
Nope. That's just the nature of this track, right? There's some tracks that have very quick pit stops. That one that comes to mind is St. Croix. That has an oddly very quick pit stop, but yeah, just here, not much he can do. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep,
they can't
not
really say
much.
much about that.
Second through fifth, none of them are more than like a 30 seconds apart altogether from him. I mean, Truth is 23 seconds behind him. Even Jeffrey is only 24 seconds behind him, though Jeffrey still owes a pit stop. He's still on those same old medium tires. I don't know what he's waiting on, but Jeffrey's still on the old mediums in 7th place now. So he doesn't count. He's gonna have to pit. But Naranjo, he's 26.5 seconds back. I mean, there's just the whole field practically is right here. Mind you, I didn't even realize he had a 3-way battle going for 8th, by the way. But the whole field is all within 1 pit stop of him.
As you say that, Ando goes onto the outside line. Oak tries to defend on the inside, but with a weaker tire, does Ando break
I
lane?
think
He goes on the piece. He spins. Corridor goes past.
That's
Ando
just
makes
poor
the
driving.
blunder of braking on the grass,
Oh,
spins
no.
his car around.
I can't get a
Corridor
good
still.
camera angle on it for some reason.
No worries. Corridor is still behind Oak as we see a replay.
Where's Ando? There's Ando. Yep, gets 2 right wheels on the grass there, and
Fucking
that
hell.
just sends him all the way around.
Oh
He's
yeah, put
super
it on the
lucky not to
stream,
slam
Alex.
into the wall, just to spin there. We do have damage on. It's not heavy damage, it's light, but it matters. So Ando gets away with one, sort of, but that puts him in last place by 4 seconds. He is on the soft tire, so he may be able to catch back up to Hot Air. Hot Air also on the soft tire, though. It's Oak. Oak's the only one on the medium there, and he won out in that whole battle, which is funny. Then you got Corridor also on softs. Sorry, go ahead.
Wade is
Wade.
currently closing down on the lead. 1 second separates the two. Wood is just able to really run that corner with the softs better than Stig. Obviously, Stig has been on those softs a little bit longer, right? A little bit less than half on the front right tire, while Wood still has it relatively fresh. But I think soon we're gonna see Wood pass here and take the lead. And yeah, I think Stig is only really gonna go backwards from there.
Yeah, absolutely. We're on board with Wid right now as he goes hunting for the Stig, getting closer every single corner. Now, Stig can still defend, but like I said, I don't think that's going to help him. He's going to get passed regardless, right? Like there's nothing that changes that, and by defending, the only thing that he'd do is back himself up into the other cars on track and lose even more position. So, it behooves him to get out of the way and let Wid pass, not defend, and try to get a tow, and hope he can do the same thing when or if Shred catches up.
Yep. Yeah, Wood is right behind him. If Stig pits right now, the only person he'd be ahead of is Jeffrey, and yeah, it's just not. And he put up the blinker. He puts up the blinker. Wood is gonna make an easy move down on the inside. It's not even gonna be a fight. It's just gonna be a let by, and he does it. Able to get into the first apex first. Makes the move clean and smooth.
So Stig lets Wid by as predicted. Decides I'm not gonna fight you.
Is Stig in the chat? I didn't see him leave.
Like you said, if he pits now, the only person he comes out ahead of is the person who is
Yeah, he might be
in
muted, I
dead
don't know.
last place, which
I think
is
he's here.
Jeffrey, who just pitted. He took his racing softs. He's 53 seconds behind Wid, so just a little bit behind, or a little bit less than that to the Stig. But then Ando is, well, Ando's 34 seconds back. How do you know what the pit delta is? I know you still got to stop, and you got the animation of changing tires, which is about what, 2.5 seconds?
Yeah, roughly. I think with his expected pit delta, I don't think he'll get any feel. He actually might, looking back at it now, he may come out around Corridor. Because I don't think the pit delta is going to be around the 30-second mark, but he's definitely not going to stay in second, I'll tell you that much. But
No,
yeah, he may
no, for sure.
he may come out around Corridor or Hot Air.
Well, that would be nice. I guess that's all you can really ask for at this point, is that he comes out in the points still. Or at least top 10. I think everybody gets points in this championship.
Ah, he put the wrong tires on.
So I see
I had a
that
feeling he
actually
ran a
does go
31.9.
Yeah.
I'm like,
fast.
on mediums?
There it
You
is.
sure?
Go for the
53.
mediums. Softs are really worn down at this point, so yeah. I think
Well, that explains why he just let me by instead of racing me.
we'll see what
Yeah.
where he does pop out. Still not. Oh, finally at the pit box. Switching it
Finally there.
really quick. And
And
now,
it does look like everyone gets points. So you get points up until 16th place. So regardless, he would like more points than fewer. So let's see where he comes out. I think that's Corridor right there in that orange livery. So you might have been right. He's going to come out in 8th place or 7th place rather behind Corridor. Where's Hot Air? Oh, he gets passed by Hot Air right last minute, but he's got fresh tires on versus Hot Air's somewhat worn softs. They're not that worn out though. They're actually still pretty good. Stick may get him on pace, may be able to stay patient, just try to get him when those softs do get a little bit more worn. Right now, he's come out in 8th place, and he's gonna have to show some patience.
he could have had a move there, but just not far along enough side to go for a late break around the outside. As you said, a lot of the guys in front of them, they are on softs, but they're not very worn down. So I think it's going to be mostly just just trying to stay patient and trying to get himself as high up as he can. I think 6 could be in the cards. Just based on his driving performance in the first stint.
Fuck.
I don't see him going much further.
Could be. We got a battle for P3 here between Ryder and Rusty. These two have been going back and forth.
This wind is going
Rusty
bananas.
in front of Ryder in front of Rusty right now. They're both going at it, both on worn softs though. Ryder's look a little bit better. He's in the back though. It's easier to defend than it is to pass. So can those fresh tires help him out? Or will they ultimately not matter? We've only got a few laps to tell. So he's got to figure this out. He's got 4 or 5 laps here, 4.5 laps rather, to make something happen against the S7R driver, Rusty Maggots, who sits in the last podium spot. What do you think? Predictions, Hover? Think he's got him?
Honestly, I think Rusty has it. He is in a very strong position right now. Even though his tires are a little bit worse, I do think the Aston has a little bit better top end, and the only real 2 overtaking locations, as long as you keep it on the track, are turn 1 and then turn 4, where the top speed really matters. I think Rusty might have this. I'm not gonna lie. Only crossing the line, it's only gonna be 4 more laps. I think Rusty might have this. He's going to defend like a lion, as Alonso said. But I think he has this. He has the track position in these dying few laps, and I think the podiums are going to be Wiz, Shred, and Rusty.
I think so as well. I would like to argue that turn 1 and turn 4 are the only passing points. I would like to add turn 12, Sal. It only the momentum only matters if you're trying to catch up to someone ahead of you or trying to leave somebody behind you. But we're in the last few laps here. The next car up, second place is Shred. He's almost 5 seconds up the road. There's nobody behind Ryder to give him fits as well. So he may be willing to sacrifice speed up the hill in turn 12 if it means he makes a pass on Rusty Maggots. So looks like he's trying right now to make it happen into the hairpin, and he does. He makes that happen into turn 5 almost easily there. That turn 8 rather. That was wow. That almost looked like team orders. I mean, you wouldn't have team orders between the two of these, but these two drivers. But that was so smooth. Wow.
So yeah, Rusty goes a little bit wide, going uphill on the right-hander, and he just allowed Ryder to go a little bit narrower and just get a very good exit going into the first hairpin of the sector. A lot of these moves are just working off one another, right? Working the first corner, getting alongside in the second corner, and then finally getting the position in the third, right? And these guys are very experienced in doing that.
That's right. This is one of those tracks where it's really only easy to pass if person ahead of you makes a mistake, and it's one of those tracks where you have to very actively try to force mistakes, isn't it? Like you said, getting alongside one or two, maybe even three corners ahead, in an effort to throw your opponent off their line for the corner where you're actually going to make the pass. And so Ryder does that to perfection, and he seems to already be pulling out a gap ahead of Rusty, almost a second gap between the two of them.
Yep. Just, that's just Rusty having the worst tires right now. But I think Rusty overall is a little bit safe. 9 seconds out of truth. And yeah, I think this is pretty much the finalized results, unless someone makes a mistake. But going down the grid a little bit, back to Stig in 8th, less than a second behind Hot Ayer. This little fight for the position is not over yet. He could possibly get it.
He could, like we said, those softs are going to start getting really worn down. They are getting there. Granted, the soft has a decent pace over the mediums, but it's not insane. And Stigs are, for all intents and purposes, very fresh, very brand new mediums. Got a very light tank of fuel, very light car. So there's a chance. He just has to have enough time, right? But he's less than a second up. He is pulling on Hot Air up the hill here. Definitely gaining time on him. Maybe not as quickly as he would like to be, but he's got 2 more times around to try and use that and take advantage of that. And maybe those front tires will also bite a little bit better than Hot Air's in the next coming laps.
Yep.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's another 10th out of him, right there.
Yep. 2 laps to go. Stig has to do everything he can to, hit these corners hard and fast. But yeah, it's in the cards. It's not written off. High Ayer is not getting gap. Now less than 6/10 between them. That Jag is struggling a little bit on the front end, and yeah, Stig could do this.
That's right. Stig's got to remain patient, though. He goes a little bit outside of track limits there. Luckily, the game doesn't actually care very much at that point, so doesn't eat a penalty or anything like that. But you can see he's using every last bit of the track that he can, maybe a little bit more to try and catch up to Hot Ayer. He still has to make the pass, but he is catching him, and he's catching him fairly easily here. Corners like this, he's got to get a great exit here. Looks like he did. Really cut that apex well, able to hit the gas, just before he's even finished the turn, just straighten that Aston Martin out as much as possible, try to get up this hill, especially behind that big torquey Jag. Actually got pretty good top end, but so does the Aston. Both very mighty around tracks like this.
Yeah, but this is the final lap. This is going to be pretty much his final opportunity to really. He slides off turn 3, or turn 2, my bad. And I think that might seal it, unless Javier makes a massive mistake. I think he has it. I think he has enough tire and top speed to really, and staying really aggressive over that curve. I'm surprised he has the car there, to be honest. But I just don't think there's that many corners and that many opportunities. I think Javier takes it.
I think that's it. We're gonna go with Wid right now. Just saw him passing through turn 12, and he is coming through the last couple of corners here. So beat those boxes and gonna apex it on this final left-hander. He's flashing the lights as he knows he's got this win in the bag. 10.7 seconds to shred. So Wid climbing his way up his grid order into a win, and a decisive one at that. Here comes Shred. Here comes Ryder in 3rd, who did finally beat Rusty Maggots like we saw a few laps ago. Rusty will take 4th place there. The Truth sits somewhere in 5th. He is ready to cross the line now. Then we'll get Corridor in 6th behind him. Hot Ayer still leads Stig as they come to the line. It's nowhere near what it needs to be. The gap between them for Stig to get that position, so he'll take 8th place.
I'm gonna hop out. Yeah, thank you.
9th, and then Oak.
Yeah, I will catch you later.
Place.
Yeah, man.
followed by
Jeez.
Jeffrey in 11th. Van Oak didn't have a great second half of the race at all, huh? I mean, first half wasn't going good, even on the racing softs, as we recall seeing. And
My
getting on
my
those
app
mediums certainly
disconnected,
helped.
so I couldn't talk that
That
whole time.
not at
Very good.
all.
You
Let's
couldn't hear me
race. That was a
cussing
pretty good
a
one,
storm up
actually. Let's go
because
back
I
to the
accidentally
results
took
and show
softs
those
twice.
one more time here. Can you go
Yeah,
over
we
them
saw.
for us again, Hover?
Of course,
Freaking!
this is the final results
I
of
just
the
threw
split
away
one for
podium.
the pro split.
Yeah, bad luck,
Feature
mate.
race,
That
Witt
would
takes
probably
the win and advantage.
would have
with
got you. Yeah,
Shredder,
you were doing well.
With 10 seconds behind Ryder, 15 seconds behind
Oh, I
Wade,
gotta go get
then
some work done.
Rusty in fourth,
All right,
Troy in
man.
Bug
fifth,
out.
Shake it
Warner
off,
in
and
sixth,
I'll see you. I'll
Hot
see you
Iyer
soon.
in
Yeah.
seventh,
See you, man.
Stig in
See ya.
eighth, and you see Witt taking the fastest lap, and then the second half, or I guess the last three finishers, Ando in ninth, Oak in the M6 in 10th, and then Jeffrey rounding out the grid in 11th in the GTR.
And that is round two, both sprint and feature race. We have interviews coming up, of course, with our feature race podium drivers, but we're going to take a short break before then. Let them gather themselves, get some water, get out of the car, go into Park Ferme, way up, you know, all that stuff, right, Hover?
Yep, we will be back really soon, so just hold on tight so we can talk to the podium spots.
What's up?
Hey guys.
What's up, Mr. Stig? How'd you do?
I was doing pretty good until I accidentally went to the pits and took softs again.
What?
Oops.
You guys are done with your race, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
posted the results.
By the way.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Do you need
Stig.
do you need quality results too?
Hey guys,
Not,
we're back, and we have our
not
podium
necessarily.
winners here.
No,
Podium
not
We
really.
don't really keep track of it.
rather,
I haven't
so,
been
we're
keeping
gonna
track of
start
anything
these
regarding
interviews.
quali or the points or
I'm gonna
anything
start
because
with
we don't have
Wid.
like a pole
You
position
won
point,
this
so I just
thing,
need
obviously.
for the points. I just need
A
fast
bit of
lap
redemption
and
from the sprint
finishing
race,
positions,
Wid, because you
Okay.
kind of
Well,
lost
I
that
posted
in the
it
last
in both the public
lap
chat
there.
and the pro
For
and split
this
2 chat.
one,
So.
okay.
I
Yeah,
got
Stig.
held
When
up in the first half.
when you were, it
for
was
a
kind
good
of funny
bit
when
there.
after
What
I
were you
had
thinking?
pit,
Did you think
I
that
knew
the
you
wind
were
was
on the
still in
soft
it, or
tires.
did
I
you
was
feel
like,
like I
okay,
got held up too long?
I'm probably like,
What were
gonna
your-
have
what were
a
your
certain
expectations
gap to
there?
Stig. I figured it'd probably be like
I
9 or
didn't think
10
I
seconds when
was
I come out of the
really
pit,
held
and
up
I'll be
that
on the better
long.
tire, and we'll see if
I
I
knew
can
I'd
catch
have
you.
to fight through
And all
some
of a sudden, I'm
people, and I
18
knew
seconds back. I'm
my-
like, man, how did that happen? And
Yeah.
then like you were up there, and I'm thinking, man, Stig's having a good race tonight. He's gonna get a podium. And then you pulled in the pit again. I was like, oh, nope.
That Tom the Tech killed us in the freaking sprint.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he was like well over a half a second faster than all of us.
It was just the time trial for him.
Do you know what his quality time was?
It's a 40 flat. No, 30, 39. Yeah, I do. Hold on a second. I got it. I got a picture of it.
What's up?
Yeah. How
Yeah.
did you guys do? I'm
40,
sorry.
40.2.
I had a 39.6 in quali, which was pretty good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I was
Rusty and I. Yeah, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was P2 and P2. Arrow was P8 and P1.
Mhm.
Fuzzy was P5, and then he disconnected during the endurance.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I took turbo out.
Rusty and I finished 4th and 5th and swapped over. Like, I was 4th in the sprint, and then he was 4th in the main race.
I'll be back. Let me